What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Happy Friday. You are watching Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. We got 5 games to break down on the ice tonight. I got Cam Stewart hanging by. But first, let's talk Prize Picks. It is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. Follow the link in the description for the deposit match. A little reminder of the scoring: 3 points for a goal, 2 for an assist, half a point for a shot, half a point for a block. And I am looking at shooters. I don't know if I've picked Alex Ovechkin yet this season. He is sitting there at 4.6. It's disrespect. It's disrespect. I'm seeing guys like Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews up plus 5 points. Ovi, 4.6 points. He's got goals in 4 straight games, 5 of his past 6, at least 2 shots in every game this season. I know 2 shots is nothing, but he doesn't disappear. He's always at least on the score sheet. At least 3 shots in 8 of his last 9 games. So I've talked a lot about a fantasy floor here. So I'm thinking he gets at least 3-4 shots here tonight. So that's 1 point, 1.5, 2 points. If he gets an assist, we're right there. If he scores a goal, we're getting the total, because Ovi's just shooting the puck so often. 19 shots in his past 4 games. And I don't know about the Rangers. Like, they win 9-0, they lose 5-0. Are they going to bring the coaches to the game tonight? I have no idea what's happening with the Rangers night in and night out, but I know that Ovechkin loves to shoot the puck and he's a sniper. So I'm taking the over on Ovi at 4.6. And if his shot prop is 3.5, I would take the over there as well. Tyler Toffoli in here next. I've been talking a lot about Tyler Toffoli, but it's warranted, right? He's got 18 goals. He's 3 behind Austin Matthews. He's 2 behind Connor McDavid. The Habs have played the Canucks 7 times this year. They're averaging 4.8 goals per game over those 7 games. And you look at the Canucks at 5-on-5 per 60 minutes. I know they've cleaned it up a little bit lately. Demko's been solid, but they're still giving up a lot of shots. The most shot attempts, the most shots, the highest expected goal rate, the most scoring chances, and the second most high danger scoring chances at 5-on-5 per 60 minutes. So the chances are going to be there for the Canadians and Tyler Toffoli tonight. 94 shots on the season. And in those 7 games against the Canucks, he has 8 goals, 13 points, and 32 shots. Another guy, at least 3 shots on goal in 7 of his past 10 games. So there's a solid floor there as well. And then the other guy on the way out, let's go with David Perron. If you're looking for a third, David Perron is at 3.1 against the San Jose Sharks. The Sharkies, as we bring in Cam Stewart. What's up, man? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Mia. Yeah, SJ Sharky's been competitive. Losing 1 goal heartbreakers to Vegas. If you got him on the puck line, hey, SJ Sharky's going to make you some fish food. I will say this, man, it's been tough. And I can't lie, guys. I'd like to apologize for last Friday's picks. I think my dogs, like, literally, hey, guys, I'm going to take all these dogs. They got murdered. Ottawa got murdered. It's these matchups, Meaney. You talk about it off the top. Like, if I see Montreal, Vancouver one more time, I'm going to jump out a window. At the start of the year, it was fun. Now it's hard to cap this stuff. It's like, what the heck is going on here? It fools with your mind what you want to do. Capping strategies, you come back over unders. I don't know what to do. I'm telling you, man, it's been difficult. And last night was tough too. A lot of these dogs, it's funny. Sometimes you're on the wrong ones. They were barking last night, but I will say this, man, it's really interesting. We got to look at some of these goaltenders. Guys are having problems. You talked about the COVID angle. Like, people are like, oh, what are you going to, the Rangers. So they're bringing up the AHL's Hartford Wolfpack. Oh. Yeah. You know what? 9-0. So they play their best game of the year with a bunch of coaches. It tells you hockey players know themselves. Meaney, you're on the first line. I'm rolling you out. Matt Best, you're on the second line. Cam, you're going to kill some penalties tonight. These guys know what they're doing. And I'll tell you, seeing Chris Drury on the bench, a friendly face and a great guy for the franchise, has actually inspired these guys. And if it wasn't for Vladimir Putin, the Russian government getting involved with those 9 games that the Breadman missed, the Rangers might be in a hell of a lot of even a better position. So there's a lot of things to think about. But what are they going to do coming off that 9-0 win? You saw the Flyers. They get pumped. Then they come back, have a 3-0 lead against the Isles, piss it away, and then come back and win 4-3, Meaney. What a world we're living in the NHL.
I know. That was the only game I think I got right yesterday. Yesterday was tough. I'll be honest with you.
It was a tough night for me too.
Yeah, it was really tough. Like, picking on the Sabres, fine. Like, whatever.
Yeah, that's
you
easy.
don't need me to tell you to take pick on the Sabres on the puck line. And it's and books like you and I talked, just taking it off the board completely. Like, it's it. You're not stealing any money from us anymore betting against the Sabres. But yeah, yesterday I was on the Jets. I had the over there. That didn't work out. The Flyers is one when I did my NHL puck report for FTN is a free video. I've been doing that a couple times a week. That was the game that I was on. I said, listen, I have some issues with the Flyers defense and the goaltending. And we kind of ripped Carter Hart a little bit the other day. But when a team loses 9-0 in the quick turnaround, you got to see their best effort. And they almost gave that away in the third period. So even just lucky to get that. But I was trying to be different with picks yesterday, Cam, not just the sides and the totals, because it is the same games over and over again. I was betting on Ryan Johansson to 0 points, minus 134. Cam Atkinson, 0 points. It's a different feeling when you pick somebody to have 0 points. You get super nervous when they're touching the puck. And in overtime last night, Cam Atkinson had the puck on his stick a lot. And I was like, don't score. I called Palmieri, no points. He had an assist. So I was just trying to get unique here. But we'll talk about the Rangers in just a second. I want to bring up the Habs and Canucks first, but I really would like to get your thoughts on David Quinn before we get into them. Actually, you know what? Let's just do Rangers and Caps. Let's just start there. You mentioned the coaching change in Drury, or not even a change. He's at home. We had Dennis Esser, Coach Esser on the show. He's a big Rangers guy. And I asked him about David Quinn and the thoughts there. He's supposed to be a guy that's known for developing young players. And I'm seeing young players in the Rangers not really get developed over the couple of years. This is like slow moving for some of these guys. And then the coaching staff is gone and they have their best game of the season, 9 goals. Mika Zibanejad, we've been asking where he's been all year. He has the hat trick and 6 points. Like, what do you make of this Rangers team?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're a play-on team, and I think they're going to get better. The goaltending was really inconsistent with Shesterkin and Georgiev. That's the thing. If they get any type of goaltending, they're good, Meaney. Remember all the two, they had problems with the back end as well, and you talked about it. Lafreniere, all these young guys, like other guys are stepping up, and they're doing things quickly. It's getting better. Zibanejad has been a ghost. That 6-point night was fantastic, but I will say this. I was talking about you, Meaney, to my boy Brian Blessing last night, and we're talking about all these analytics guys. Oh, face-offs don't mean anything. Like, well, are you actually going to say that comment at doing a hockey show? It means everything. Line changes, guys getting off, setting up your plays, the breakout. There's so many things that go. I get it. You have to look at numbers and you have to look at other things. But some of these coaches, man, I'm just not impressed. That's the thing. You put Chris Drury on, former Ranger and Sabre great. These players are probably like, hey, man, it's nice. This guy's actually played the game at this level and stuff, a loose atmosphere, and they pumped Philadelphia. They played their best game of the year, offensively, defensively, everything. It was a perfect hockey game for these guys. And I don't know, Chris, like I look at these coaches, and I don't want to say this about hockey, but let's get real. I will say it about hockey. I think the coach matters least. Out of all the big sports, these guys already know what they're doing. They can run their own practices. They can do this stuff. Tinkering a little bit, but it's a game. It's also a very simple game when you break it down, and a game of luck. I think people overcomplicate things, and that's what bothers me. Watching the Arizona Coyotes, I'm like, guys, you're always looking for this perfect play. It's never happening. That's why you don't score goals against Minnesota. Do simple things. That's what worked for the Leafs. You chuck pucks in front of the net. You get bodies in front. It deflects. Goaltenders are good at this level. And coaches, I think, Meaney, they try to get too cute. How many new drills can we have in practice? These guys are at the highest level in the world. So to me, I don't think coaching matters as much as people think. Maybe I'm an idiot.
No, I definitely don't think you're an idiot. I think you're onto something for sure. Like a lot of the times I'm seeing, massive whiteboards on the rink in practice. And it's like, guys, come
on. You played the game, Meaney. It's not that tough. You cover your man coming back down the ice. You set it up. You have you have a couple set plays. You want to rotate, get the cycle moving. There's things that you want to do, but I'm like, hockey, it doesn't need to be as complicated as people think about it. And the COVID angle is 3-1. All these teams that had the AHL coaches and other guys, and Vegas was a totally different story. They lost a heartbreaker in overtime or a shootout, I think, to St. Louis. Yeah. So, know what I'm saying, Me and you could go in there. Call me, you and producer Matt up there. We'll get behind the bench. Okay, guys, go do your thing. Hey, great coaching job by the guys. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we were there.
I thought David Quinn should have been on the hot seat. Maybe he was on the hot seat and potentially, maybe they go on a bit of a run here and he's fine. But there are little things that sometimes I think coaches overthink. And again, I'll go to Ducharme in a little bit when we talk about the Habs, but the same things are happening with him as they happen with Julian. But one thing I did notice with the Rangers, just the little things, you talk about analytics, offensive zone faceoffs. When you have an offensive zone faceoff, shouldn't Mika Zibanejad be on the ice?
Yes.
Right? with the Canadians, when you have an offensive zone faceoff, I get you want to put Deneau as your best guy out there, but maybe you want to put Suzuki on there. Maybe you don't want to put the fourth line. I know it's okay. We have an offensive zone faceoff. We're not going to put the fourth line on in our own zone, maybe because we don't want to get trapped. But it's a scoring opportunity. So why don't you put your best players on? Just little things like that. That's one thing I noticed with Mika Zibanejad not getting a lot of offensive zone faceoffs.
Great point, Meaney. And another thing is, take a look at this. So you're the Montreal Canadiens, and you actually talked about this. People, listen to this man. He knows what he's doing. He knows hockey inside out better than some guys in the league. You put the wrong guys in the overtime, you don't get the point. What does that lead to, people? It leads to a shootout. The Montreal Canadiens are 0 for 8 in shootouts, and it could cost them a playoff spot. This is what we're talking about. Not only do I want the shootout abolished because it's absolutely stupid, and I'm watching these guys going at 1 mile an hour and trip over the puck and not even get, shots on net. It's ridiculous. You should be playing 3-on-3. We already talked about that. But look at those decisions, Meaney. It's a domino effect. If the decisions that they make in overtime, they can't steal that point. You saw the game against Winnipeg. Opportunity, Ehlers comes down the end, scores. Winnipeg gets the extra point. You're sitting there with your stick in your hand. You're 0-8 going with shootouts too. Lost points. It'll come back and bite you in the NHL. You know how tight the point system is.
Yeah. Well, I said this. How many times I say this on the show? And when you start overtime with Paul Byron and Philip Deneau against Scheifele, Wheelers, and I don't know who the hell, Connor, you deserve to lose.
Exactly.
You deserve to lose, and that's why they haven't had success at all in overtime or the shootout. But, okay, blood boiling. Let's go. Rangers and Caps.
It's supposed to be a nice, friendly Friday.
But some of these coaches and the decisions, it is mind-boggling. Again, I thought it was a Julian thing, but it's not. It is not a Julian thing. You deserve to lose hockey games when you don't put your best players on the ice in 3-on-3. It's a skills comp. It's a skills competition.
It is.
No disrespect to Paul Byron. This is a skills competition. And if you want to get the extra point, you better put somebody on the ice who can score a goal, and he's not one of them. The Rangers and the Capitals tonight. Washington -141, 18-10 against the spread. The total here is 6, 19-6-4. The Caps are hot. They're red hot. They come in with 6 straight wins, 10 of their last 11. The Rangers +123, 18-10 against the spread. So did the Rangers figured it out? Have they? Is this an opportunity to ride with them? I have a little bit of pause, man. I've been watching the Capitals play. They're in the zone. They're feeling it right now. They're getting better goaltending. I wish that Samsonov was playing. This is the first of a back-to-back. He probably plays tomorrow. That guy looks real good. What do you think?
That's so funny you say that, Meaney, because the luggage man, Samsonov, at the start, I thought his bags were going to be packing. The guy couldn't even stand on his feet. Now he's in some kind of zone. I got to come back to the Rangers as a dog. Okay. I know I apologize again, last week, me and Meaney, we're giving you guys picks, but everything's bleeding into each other with these games. It's actually nice that we have a different matchup here. It's hard to back up a 9-0 performance, but I'm going to give the Rangers the benefit of the doubt, and also streaks. You talk about Zibanejad, that really gets him off the schneid. Not even a 2-point night, a 6-point night. I think Panarin being back from that crap with Russia and all the other stuff, he's a popular guy in the room as we talk about. I think there's something galvanizing with the Rangers. Washington's hot, but the streak could come to an end. We're getting a decent dog price. Wouldn't mind a little bit more, but I like the New York Rangers. I don't like stepping in front of Washington either, Meaney, but I'm going to take a small play on the Rangers as a dog here. It'll be in some parlays as well. I do those +1.5. So if I can find a favorite, try to jacket the plus money there. You see it. These games end in overtime or a shootout. And you know what? I don't mind paying juice on one end as long as you get a decent price on the other and you can turn it into a plus. I'm down with that. I think the Rangers win or lose a heartbreaker. I like the Rangers tonight. I'm going to be betting them.
I like the Mika call. We've said this a few times. We've been waiting for him. I know I've been wrong on him a couple times when he scored. It's like, okay, now he's going to go on a bit of a run. But a 6-point night and 3 goals, and he had 4 shots. He had a power play goal. He had a shorthanded goal. He had the breakaway finish. So it must have felt pretty good to get going like that. So I'm seeing here DraftKings. He's still juiced up at, it's plus money, but it's 3.5. I think, we have a lot of people following the show north of the border, Bet365. You're going to see him at 2.5 at -140. I don't mind that. He's been over the 2.5 in 2 of his last 4, which doesn't seem like a lot. But if you go further than that, he's been over the 2.5 in 4 of his past 6. So, and the ice time has been there for him. There was one week where he had 15 minutes and 13 minutes, and I was really bothered. I was wondering what was going on, that this guy needs to play to get going. And then he went 20, 22, 20, 23, and then 18 minutes. So he's been getting a little bit more ice time. I wouldn't take him over 3.5, but I would take him over 2.5 if you can find that. I'm going to side with the Caps, but I see what you're saying here. This next game is my upset here with the Canucks and the Canadians. Montreal shouldn't be favored -182. It's just too much.
Yeah.
They're not good enough for that. But under the new coach, they're 4-3-4. So, I mean, they've been in every game. I thought that they played amazing in the third period against the Jets to come back in that game and tie it up. But same old story with them in overtime. Vancouver here plus money, plus 155, 15 and 18 against the spread. The total here is 6. I like the under. I think Demko has just been playing so good. Price has been great. And if it's not Price, Jake Allen has been great as well.
Yep.
I watched both games against the Sens. The Sens competed like we expect them to. And
that's what
it was,
they do.
That's exactly what they do.
Guys, me and Meaney will give you a tip. For the people in Canada, our friends down in the United States, God, I wish I could go over the border and just crush some chicken wings watching March Madness, but I'm going to say this. The Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs will get Ottawa's best effort every time. It's regional. It's hate. People who grew up as Canadian fans, Senator fan, oh man, I'm in Ottawa. They were Canadiens fans as kid, or they hate the Leafs or whatever. It's simple. When Ottawa, they beat the Leafs on Sunday, right, Meaney, last week? That's another thing. These teams get Ottawa's best effort. And if you look, all the teams from the West are usually peppering these guys. They have problems with Montreal, Toronto. I will say this, my friend, Montreal, I like them tonight, but that price stinks. Demko is on fire, as you said. He's the hottest goaltender in the National Hockey League. He's like Fleury and Vasilevsky right now. He's feeling it. I think the Canadians win. I take them in regulation or parlays, dance partner, probably parlays, because I'm expecting a close game. But I like Montreal. I like what I've seen the last couple games. They're getting better. If it goes to overtime or a shootout, though, why just take a Bic lighter to your money, because it's done. They're going to go 0-9. beating Demko in a shootout, good luck with that. So I got to take Montreal in regulation and parlays, buddy. Go Habitant.
Yeah, regulation for sure. We have that joke in the FTN Discord. You're looking for live bets. I mean, anytime you see this team heading to overtime, go the other way. Yeah, they have been playing a little bit better. The price does suck indeed, but they're coming home now off a 6-game road trip. I think they could potentially be flat. They got in yesterday on Thursday. It's been they had the 2 games against the Canucks, the 2 games against Calgary where they absolutely got worked over, and then the 2 games against the Jets. So they look a little bit better in every game, but I will side with it. I think the under is the play, though. Like, it might be. Goals. Yeah, the Canucks haven't been scoring a lot, and I mentioned Demko, how good he's been. So that's my favorite bet from it. But like Toffoli again, 2.5. Not breaking any news here. I liked him off the top of the show. 2.5 shots. I like him again. I'm seeing him on DraftKings -167, 2.5. That's not bad. I don't mind that. You can get involved, get into some parlays, and away you go. The Leafs, it feels like forever since the Leafs have played. And we're going to get so much of this down the stretch. Thankfully, the Canadians are done with the Canucks after this weekend. It's Friday, Saturday. And then I think they got 5 or 6 games against Toronto, 5 or 6 against Calgary, 5 or 6 against Edmonton. So it's going to be crazy here. And the Leafs are now tied atop the North after the Oilers win last night. The Jets are a couple back. The Flames are starting to try to make a push here with Sutter. They're plus 140, 13 and 17 against the spread. The Leafs -162. Haven't played since Sunday, which you mentioned, against the Senators. They've lost 5 of 6, I believe, 11 and 19 against the spread. The total here, 6.5. Frederik Andersen, before I came on, he admitted to playing through an injury. He was brilliant to start the season. He's been a little shaky lately. He's obviously going through something. I know a lot of people are, but it's not comforting to hear a goalie say that they're playing through an injury. I don't like to hear that. What do you make of this game?
It's another one like the Canadians, but I think the books, these guys aren't stupid. Like they're jacking up Montreal because they think they're going to be coming out and playing better, even despite the road trip and the Leafs. I would have probably made this line $1.40. It's too high, but I like Toronto to win the game, Meaney. So sometimes, you know what I mean? I took my Friday dogs. I think the break is good for Austin Matthews and his injury. I think it gives time for Freddie Andersen to get a little bit better. This team will be galvanized. I think they're going to pay attention on the back end a little bit more. Calgary's been good. I watched those games against Edmonton. They got a little bit of a bounce in their step, but Toronto also rested and understanding they haven't been playing their best hockey, right? That series against the Jets, that was troubling to them. I think they're a better team than Calgary, so I like the Leafs. I might attach it to Montreal in a money line parlay as well, but you look at the line, I'm not going to say this. Well, I will say this. There's no value tonight. That's the thing, and I feel the books kind of are jacking up those favorites. You know, the old Friday night juice job. Feel like we're working at the Tropicana factory here, Meaney. Like, what would you have made that line with Toronto? Probably around a buck 40.
Yeah, 48, 45, right? Yeah, absolutely.
It's high.
It's high. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you though. I think the Leafs win. I mean, I think this break was good for them. I think we could see Wayne Simmons bring in Matty Best and see what he thinks about his Leafs. Wayne Simmons, like, he was practicing yesterday with the team. He was taking shifts with the regular line mates in the second line there. He's getting top power play time. I don't know if he comes back or not, but this is going to be a huge boost, Matty, to the team.
Yeah, the team has been missing a guy like Wayne Simmons since he's been out. There's no replacing what a Wayne Simmons does, a guy that wasn't only on a heater, but isn't afraid to stand in front of the net to the point where he told his teammates, just shoot the puck at me. The one thing I am excited for is if Galchenyuk does get to play and what he can do alongside Tavares and Nylander. And it's not that I'm looking for Galchenyuk to find his 30-goal form. I'm just looking for John Tavares and William Nylander to have some sort of stable line mate on the left side there. I mean, they started the season with Jimmy Vesey, and now where did he go? And they've been cycling people in and out of that lineup, or in that spot with Kerfoot, Mikheyev, Pierre Engvall's even had a shot up there. It'll just be nice for them to have someone competent, hopefully, in Galchenyuk there, because I think that just allows the bottom six lines to settle out too. Because Wayne Simmons knows he's not going to be a top six forward, but he's going to get the minutes of a top six forward because he's going to play on that power play. But he needs to just hang with his traditional line mates. And the same with Kerfoot. That guy's not ready for top 6 minutes. He's not that good. And I like Hyman, Kerfoot, and Mikheyev. I think that's an extremely effective line. It's just that one little spot on the second line has such a trickle-down effect that Galchenyuk could be a key cog to this team. And it feels silly to say, but I'm not, like I said, looking for 30 goals. I'm looking for stability.
Excellent. See, that's the thing. And Meaney, you know the game. One thing's analytics can't measure. Do you have the heart of a raisin or the heart of a bowling ball? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. And Wayne Simmons brings things to the Leafs that they lack. That's the thing. He'll pick a fight when they're down. He'll do the dirty work. He'll get in front of the net, well-liked in the locker room. Those things are very, very important. These are intangibles that actually matter. You can't have cliques and all this other crap going on. And Matt, I think you bring up a lot of really good points there. Galchenyuk, it is what it is, right? You just want stability there. I think the Leafs are a better team than Calgary, and I see good things in the future. This little speed bump, Meaney, I think they get things back on track. They believe in the coach. They believe in the system, and I think they might take out some frustrations on Calgary tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. Every team has to go through this, and if you're a Leafs fan, you should be happy that they went through this. You can't just roll through the whole season. You have to have a little bit of adversity. You have to. It's just teams that don't go through that adversity. Look at the Lightning, right? At firsthand. I mean, they didn't go through any adversity when they had that amazing season, and they got bounced in the first round, and they just weren't used to losing. They just had their way with everybody. And then they adjusted and made some changes. And then they played the same team in the first round in Columbus and had their way with them. And then they went on to win the Stanley Cup. So I think the adversity is good for the Leafs. I like the Leafs too in a bounce back spot here. Galchenyuk is interesting. He's played with talented players before, and he showed up and he's looked decent playing with those players. You know, he had the 30-goal season that Matt alluded to with the Canadiens. I believe he was 19 years old at the time. He's played with top players in Pittsburgh and has been productive in spurts too. So if he gets into the lineup tonight, I will be interested in him, and from a DFS standpoint is a little bit of a pump play that I don't think people will be on. But if you can find Austin Matthews 3.5 north of the border, he'd be around -150. I like that. He's -200, 3.5 DraftKings Sportsbook. That's a pass, but I would go as high as -150 for Matthews. But Willie Nylander has been shooting a little bit more, 2.5. I'm seeing him on DraftKings 2.5 the shots. Him and Tavares are guys that I don't mind here. I know, Matt, we joked about Tavares, I think, a couple weeks ago with the 2.5, but -139 here. I think we'll see Toronto's a really strong effort from Toronto. And I've been afraid of attacking the Flames since they made the coaching change, but it seemed like the same old Flames in their last game. Sutter can only do so much, Cam, I think. It's the personnel on this Calgary team. They just don't have it. Yeah,
the thing was, they look good in their games before, and then Edmonton just took them out to the woodshed in that game that you talk about. I was actually on that one. Meaney got that one right. It's funny. The games I was on these other nights, like the Rangers, and they win 9-0. I love those games where I don't even have to think. I could just sit back, pop a steam whistle, and go, yeah, this is fun. I don't have to worry about hedging, overtime, Montreal in a shootout, any of that nonsense. But I will say this. I think Toronto is in a very, very good spot against the Flames. And you said it, the Flames are who they are. If they don't get any type of goaltending defensively, they really fall into bad lapses and they can get burned with teams with speed. Toronto, I think Toronto wins this game probably. I'm thinking it might even go over the number. I don't like the 6.5 hook, but I see Toronto winning like a 5-2, 5-3 type of game.
Write it down, people. Cam's been nailing scores. Write it down. We brought you up on Wednesday. Would you nail a score? Like, I'm writing it down. 5-2 leads. 5-3,
$10, whatever. Hey, you could take your girlfriend out for some Swiss chalet, or if we hit it, I don't know. What does that pay? Exact score, Meaney, on that one? Probably pretty good.
I don't know.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Like a golfer winning? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, anyway, let's hope we hit it. All right, quickly, me, before we get to the other, actually, you know what? Let's get to the other games, and I want to talk to you about a scenario. I'm not a reporter, but I got some interesting news and thoughts that I want to throw your way as they've been throwing around some potential playoff situations. And I want to tell you something and get your thoughts on it. But let's finish with the board. These other games are, what do you think about SJ Sharkey in St. Louis? I'll tell you one thing about St. Louis. These guys got me singing more than the Blues. When this team plays, I break things. They kill my parlays. I can't even hedge out against LA. I had a great night there. I went, hey, all I need is St. Louis. Oh, they're down 3-1, and now the Kings are 11-1 favorites. Thanks, everybody. I can't even get hedge out for $19 on my parlay. Like, it's just a nightmare. This team is a train wreck. And Vince Dunn, they were talking about it. Even he's having to get in fights. Their defense, they're not scaring anybody in front of the net. Teams are taking liberties. Doesn't matter with Husso. They play harder for him. Bennington, he's not been the same guy since he signed the deal. I'm going to tell you something. SJ Sharkey's playing better. It's the Sharks or nothing. I have no faith in the Blues. None.
Yeah, Cam, you may be onto something. I don't put my money on the Blues. I've been crying as well. Like, screw the Blues. Like, they are on my list. And I've been making excuses for them too. Like, oh, maybe they're just going through the motions. They're just trying to adjust life without Alex Pietrangelo. Like, they have issues. And every time I look at their lines, they're different too. And I know Tarasenko has been back, but they've been winless since Tarasenko has been back. They've lost 5 straight games. They've lost 3 times to the Sharks this season. Maybe just got to put the Sharks on the card here. Plus money. Like, let's go.
The defense, it's a problem. And like they talk about it, like teams are not afraid of us. Like, they're hanging out in front of the net. That's the thing about LA, right? They own the Blues. And I'm like, what the hell have I done? Like, if I didn't bet the Blues this year, Meaney, the money I'd have, like, this team has cost me more than any team in the National Hockey League, guaranteed. And the Kings just put their big power forwards in front, big dudes there. These guys can't even move them out of the way. You said it. St. Louis has more problems than people are talking about. Berube, he's trying to get these guys fired up. This is a hockey team that just doesn't get it right now. They're not getting anything from anybody. The goaltending's not been great. It's SJ Sharkey or nothing, and I think I'm going to take a swim with SJ Sharkey.
I tell you what, if the Blues screw us over tonight, it's going to be
I'm going to snap.
Rage.
Yeah,
it's going to be even more rage.
Blues 4, Sharks 1. I'm just yeah, I'll just start snap. Meaning I'll lose my mind, but I just don't trust this team. They just don't. Like, look at the LA game. Oh, they're going to come back. I remember I was like they're going to come back. They scored a 3-1 goal, and then nothing. Like, there's nothing. There's no energy. There's no vibe. They have bigger problems than people think.
And they need to get going because Colorado is starting to heat up.
Yes.
Vegas is awesome, and Minnesota is great. So they need to get going because maybe the Kings are going to catch them potentially. Like, it's something that could happen. I watched both games, San Jose against Vegas. They competed in both games against the Golden
Yes, they
Knights.
did.
They played really well. They got strong goaltending from Devin Dubnyk. This is the first of 2, so I don't know if it's going to be Martin Jones. I do feel a little uneasy if it's Jones. I would actually think about – I'll circle back here on the YouTube channel when we get the goalies confirmed, but this is a late game. Like, it's 9 Eastern, so it's tough. You really got to make your decision. I like San Jose to win the game. If it is Jones, I'll still lean with the Sharks, but I'll lean with the over.
I agree.
He hasn't really been as strong. So I could see maybe a 4-3 hockey game here tonight, but I'm going to decide with the Sharks. Yeah. Hurdle back into the lineup for San Jose has given them a little bit more. It's given them 2 lines. When Hurdle wasn't there, it's like Timo Meier, he's kind of just on his own. And then it's the Couture-Kane line up front. But I think, Carlson has looked decent lately too, but Timo Meier back in the lineup has helped him a lot.
I think I like that over as well. Like, I'm seeing a 6, like, instead of a 6.5 there. The thing is, San Jose's been scoring goals. They're scoring goals on Vegas against good goaltenders. What do you think they're going to do against the Blues? Like, exactly. I see like a 6-4 type of game here for SJ Sharkey. So I think we got to go over, and I'll take the dog.
Write it down. Kings and Vegas.
Oh,
LA
boy.
plus 140, 20-8 against the spread. The Golden Knights minus 165, 11-16 against the spread. The total here is 5.5. Vegas 26-1 on the season. The Kings 12-10-6. Been hanging around, man. This Kings team, they're decent, man. They really are decent.
You know what, Meaney? I don't want to do this Cam's Friday dogs. People are going to like start going, I hate this stupid redheaded guy. I'm saying, this is all I'm saying. This game, I probably bet every game. I'd be lying to tell you that I'm not going to bet the game. But here's the thing. The Kings have been playing good hockey. Vegas I'll give them credit, but they've been hanging on by a thread. They had to come back to beat. Hanging on by a thread's a bad term. They've been very, not as crisp. They've been a little bit sloppier. San Jose had a lead in that game, but Vegas is so damn talented, they came back and won that game. But they've been hanging on. 1-goal win against SJ Sharkey. Another 1-goal win against San Jose. So what are we talking about, Meaney? The Kings could be live. Vegas eventually could take a night off. It's hard to bet against Vegas. I also think the line is telling you the books fear the Kings a little bit too. Yeah. This is not like a $1.90, 200 type of scenario here. For me, I'm not betting Vegas. I'm just going to tell you that. For me, it's the Kings or nothing, but people bet at your own risk. I'm a little bit of a different guy. And as you know, my dogs, they didn't attack last night. They attacked me. I got chunks out of my arm. Those were some bad dogs last week. Bad boys.
Yeah. I think we talked about this last Friday that maybe they would go through something. They had the back-to-back losses of Minnesota. No Pietrangelo there. Chandler Stevenson is not 100%. Alex Tuck is not 100%. So they are missing a couple guys. They have won 5 straight, but you're right. Those wins have been they've been nail biters. They came back against the Sharks and they couldn't put away the Sharks in the first one. So it has been tough. I will side with them, but I feel a little hesitant. I think Robin Leonard could return tonight. It's possible that he could get between the pipes. So I don't know how you feel about that.
I actually, you know what? Time. Oh, hello. I feel very regal. Robin Leonard compared to Fleury. That's the thing. I don't know what this team's going to do with their goaltending situation moving forward, but they better thank their damn lucky stars that they kept Fleury around. Imagine Fleury was gone and Leonard was going to be their guy. This wouldn't be the same Vegas team. I can tell you that. Fleury's, we're talking about him in a Vezina chat, probably him or Vasilevsky. The only difference is Leonard's coming back, so he's going to get less time and more rest moving forward. So if you hold that ticket, that could be a little bit rough. But I will say this, if Leonard comes back, the guy hasn't played in a dog's age, Meaney. I like the Kings more, and I'd be looking at the over.
Yeah, I'd be looking at the over too, because it's only 5.5 right now. And I think Leonard, I think he's going to return. I know Left Wing Lock hasn't projected, and we spoke to the media on Wednesday too, so he's really close. He has been playing, so we could see him. Maybe Fleury needs a break.
He does. He does need a break. So exactly.
All right, the DFS. Where the goal is going to come from? Up at the top here at center, we got Matthews, Kopitar, Tavares, Couture, Riley, Horvat, Zibanejad, Backstrom, Shen. I think we'll see some goals in this St. Louis and San Jose game. And
I agree.
Think, a lot of these guys are fairly cheap, like Couture 6'3". I'm not into O'Reilly because he doesn't shoot enough, but Shen is 5'6". Hurdle's 4'9". You could do a lot there. If you wanted to stack up on Leafs, the way to do that is to, spend down potentially on some of these San Jose or St. Louis guys.
What about Rangers? I could see goals Mika? In that Rangers Caps game a little bit too, don't you think, Meaney?
Yeah, I do. 5'8" for Mika?
Yeah, know what? I like to ride. Mika's one of those guys, I think you ride the hot hand. It's like at the blackjack table, buddy. We just sat down and won our first 4 or 5 hands. We're not going anywhere, Meaney. Put the phone away. We'll talk to the ladies. We'll come back and see you in a bit. We have business to take care of. And I'll tell you something, Zibanejad, the way he's going, I think we got to ride that streak, and that price is still respectable.
Yeah, we just saw the upside. He had 60 fantasy points his last time out. He's not going to have a hat trick and 6 points all the time, but he's got 30-point upside. He's got tournament winning upside, and he's under 6K. The cheap play here would be maybe Cody Glass at 3.3. If there's no Chandler Stevenson again today, he's been playing on that top line with Pacioretty and Stone. He's been getting top power play time regardless of if Stevenson is playing or not. So he is just 3.3. He is interesting. I don't like goals in the Vancouver and Montreal game, but Suzuki is 4-4, and Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who we've been on, is 3-6. So maybe a punt play as one-offs, salary savers there for you. Over at wing, Pacioretty 8-5, Ovi 8-3. Like Ovi tonight, guys. Marner 8, Panarin 7-7. He's cheap. Toffoli 7-3, Kane 7, Perron 6-8, Mark Stone 6-7, Brock Besser 6-4. Buchnevich has been pretty decent too, with Zibanejad. So maybe we just go all in there. He's got 6 points in his last 2 games, Cam.
I think the Rangers get some tonight. I know they scored 9 and it's hard to back it up, but I could see that game turning into an offensive game. I do it. I like Meaney. I like where you're going with that. I think like a Rangers stack, I have no problems with. You want to be contrarian. We could talk about, I think, SJ Sharkey or the Kings for some guys, right? People are going to I guess the Leafs are probably going to be a very popular one tonight. I think Washington would be as well when you're looking at those games. But I'm thinking, you want a little bit of ownership with the Sharks, the Kings, and that's what I go, and the Rangers for me.
I agree. And the way to be different, I think, would be to attack line 2 for Toronto. Matt's talking about maybe Galchenyuk getting in there, but Nylander's 5'9", and Tavares is 6'4". I mean, Matthews is 9'3", so he's going to break the bank, and then Marner's 8. But maybe just take a look at that second line. Some value at wing: Jordan Kyrou 4'5", TJ Oshie 4'4". Like, TJ Oshie shouldn't be a 4'4" guy.
No,
he's playing with Ovechkin. Like, he's falling into points here and there. The upside is tremendous with him. Over at defense, I like Shea Theodore at 6'4", Alex Martinez at 5'8". These are guys who are benefiting from no Pietrangelo. Adam Fox 5'6". But again, what Cam is saying, the goals in New York and Washington, goals in St. Louis and San Jose, and you got your Leafs there, obviously, but Vegas, I think, is Vegas and LA. I think there's an opportunity there for some goals. I will throw a Coughlin for Vegas. He's a guy.
He's been good.
Yeah, he's been really good, right? And he's benefiting from no Pietrangelo. He's probably the real guy who's like Alec Martinez is great, and he blocks a lot of shots.
Yes, he does.
I think he blocked like 4 in the final minute the other night, but he's getting power play time as well. But Coughlin is getting that second power play time. So I know he hasn't hit the score sheet in the past 3, but he had a hat trick there. The only defenseman to have a hat trick, imagine, Dylan Coughlin. But he's got, 4 points in his past 5 games, just getting an opportunity to play. And in net, I don't know, man. I think I'm looking at Montreal and Vancouver. I'm looking at either Price or Allen or Demko.
I agree.
Like, Demko is 6'9". 6'9". I don't understand why.
That's a bad price.
20, 32, 26, 13, the bad game, 22, 28, 24, 28. This guy is lighting it up. He was 8-1 against the Sens and 8 against the Sens in those 2 games. And now tonight, he's 6'9". This guy.
I love it. I'd go with the Canadiens goalie. I'm not sure. Is it Price or Allen tonight, Meaney?
I think we'll get Allen just because of that long road trip. Canadiens could be a little sloppy.
I like Allen. I like Allen as my goaltender. And I'd also look, I'm not sure who the Leafs are starting. I think that I would look at their tender tonight as well.
Yeah, I agree. Anderson is 8K if he gets in. All right. What do you got for us? Final picks?
Oh boy, Meaney. Oh boy. Final picks. Let's hope here. I like the Leafs to beat Calgary, but I don't like the juice. My small play. Down boy. My dogs last week. Man, those picks were so brutal. The Rangers plus 120 against the Capitals. We're gonna rock that. I think Montreal wins. I don't like the juice, so we can do a couple parlays with the favorites. Underdogs. SJ Sharkey. I'm taking them at plus 125. I just don't trust the Blues, and this team pisses the hell out of me. They take so much money away from me. I just when I see St. Louis Blues on the screen, I'm getting angry. Over. And I think the Kings might be a live dog against the Golden Knights if Leonard starts. Even if he doesn't, Meaney, I still think we can get over 5.5 if you don't want to take a chance with LA because Vegas is so damn good. I like the over in those West Coast games at night with San Jose and the Vegas game. I think both of them go over.
All right. Hey, you're not the only one who had the bad picks. I'm pretty sure Wednesday was awful, Matt.
Wednesday was a day. You went 2 for 6.
Wednesday was a day.
Yeah,
Wednesday was a day.
Yeah.
Philly money line missed. Philly over hit because of the Rangers. Vegas puck line miss. Vegas under miss. Edmonton Calgary under miss. Edmonton money line hit 2 for 6 there. Brings you to 81 for 135. Shot props batting 500 last Wednesday. Toffoli yes. Connor yes. Patches and Marchessault let you down. That brings you to 2 for 4 there. 16 for 21 on shots though. That's fantastic.
I don't like the way you do your stats, Matt. It's not 2 for 2, 2 for 4. He's 2 for 2. 85 and 100. Sounds like he's 55 games over 500. Is he not?
Oh yeah.
What is his record? 85 and 50 something, right?
He's 81 and 135.
No, 81.
No. 81? He's 81 out of 135.
Yes, out of 135.
Yeah.
Don't say 81 and 135. Or hold on, there goes the feed. Zip, zip, zip. No, 81 135.
It does seem like maybe I've gotten 81 right and 135 wrong.
No. You're batting over 500.
I'll see you at the soup line. Hey, Meaney. I see Meaney at the grocery store. What do you got in your cart? I got ramen noodles and tuna. Yes, we do. With that record, we're not going to be eating meat. I can tell you that. Holy jeez.
No. You're eating like kings if you follow the two of you, except for on certain days.
Meaney hits winners. And I will say this, guys, I'm not sure if we talked about this earlier. Hey, Canadian government, here's a tip. Get it together. We're almost halfway through the season here. I talked to some other hockey guys, and imagine this. They're actually talking about destinations. This Canada-U.S. border thing, they're talking rumors, just rumors, people. I'm just throwing this stuff out there. Imagine the Leafs go to the playoffs and they have to play in Buffalo with everybody in the stands. Leafs suck more than the Sabre shirts, Meaney. That's a train wreck. We got to get this thing situated. If you go and make it, you can't be playing neutral site games in barns where teams hate you more than anything in the world.
That's not fair. That's not right at all. They need to figure it out because it seems like playoffs are like 6 weeks away. We're already past the halfway point here. So they need to figure something out. And the trade deadline too, like, is that just going to be a complete shit show? Can these Canadian teams even get somebody? Because
that's another point.
2 weeks.
We talked about this.
My first round pick for somebody that's going to sit on the sidelines for 2 weeks before
Excellent.
I get them?
You're so right. And another thing is, so we have this border issue. Think about this. So the trade deadline's in a couple, Meaney, it's going to start soon. Like, get ready next week because that situation isn't going to change any. If you're dealing with a Canadian team, you need time. So expect the trade deadline. It's going to be way earlier if you're dealing with these teams. I find that fascinating as well. Excellent point. And the thing is, these guys test every day. Like, come on, like, get the rules a little bit better. We got to use common sense here. That's all.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm Washington, taking the under in Vancouver and Montreal, taking the Leafs, taking the over in San Jose and St. Louis, and I am going to side with Vegas there. If Leonard does start, I would lean with the over there too, guys. For the shots, Toffoli, William Nylander, David Perron, Mika Zibanejad, only 2.5. Don't go 3.5. Austin Matthews, 3.5 there as well. So that's it. Goals, I like Oshie tonight. I like Zibanejad to keep it going. So there's 2 there in that game, but I think you can have some fun. I think we'll see Washington and New York. You can just mix and match there. There's a lot of hot players in those 2 games. The Rangers just scored 9 goals. They didn't use them
exactly.
all, I think. I just have this weird feeling about Nylander tonight. Nylander for goals, Toffoli. If you want to pick a Vancouver, Brock Besser, but honestly, I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals there. I think if you want to attack first goals or anytime goals, you go to New York and Washington, and you go to St. Louis and San Jose. Hurdle and Tarasenko for me. And then for Vegas and LA, I don't think Dustin Brown's going to play. Keep an eye on him. If he does play the late game, if you had, you're looking for some late night action, I still would take the shot prop on him 2.5. But for the goals for Vegas, I'm going back to Marcia. So he's just been all over it. He's just in a bit of a slump. The chances have been there. The opportunities have been there. So Jonathan Marcia. So Cam, always a pleasure, man.
Yep.
Good luck tonight with the picks. Enjoy the madness. I know you got all kinds of brackets on the go and golf too.
This is the best me. I should tell the story. So I'm picking golf guys. I go through my list. I do like my research and stuff. I go up to my girlfriend. Who do you like in golf? She's like, Matt Jones. Guy's like 81. The guy took that first round leader course record. I put $20 on him to win it 90-1. Imagine I had first round leader. He was like 75-1 and I didn't put any money on it. Yeah. Matt Jones, just out of the blue. Craziness.
She sounds like a keeper, bud.
Well, yeah, she's a prognosticator. Yeah, she knows golf. Golf handicapping. I remember in Vegas, we went there. She's wasted, like couldn't even see. She tells me she's seeing like triple. We're betting like the Houston Open. She had Charlie, her picks. She bought 3 guys, second, third, and fourth in a golf tournament. 154 guys teed it up. She just picks names out of a hat.
Wow. Well,
maybe I should get her with hockey picks, but it only works in golf.
We'll have to do some golf. I mean, Mayo's killing it here on the network, but we'll maybe have to do some golf picks next week.
Yeah.
You on a Wednesday, you ask her who she's feeling. That's phenomenal.
That's stupid, actually. Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
5 golfers right there. All right, from Cam Stewart, check him out, Sirius XM Radio, and just good luck
everywhere.
Good luck tonight. Yeah, you are everywhere, man. Good luck tonight with the picks. Have a great weekend. Matty is here on the weekend, giving some picks himself. He was red hot over the weekend, so make sure you check him out. We'll be back on Monday. Cheers.